Hello everyone in the universe, in our planet Earth. It is a nice day. Well, I'm uploading this video to inform and to further notice our fellow citizens and people that are concerned with the future of our humanity. And as you can see many issues, problems happening worldwide. And what I can say for sure is, there's always a right path. And that is to have access to righteous information that will allow the humanity and our society to have a better understanding of what is going on in terms of truth and how these infiltrations of the Illuminati takes place in the name of system, law, education, enforced feedings of truth. And in many cases, the mainstream news media here in Asia, worldwide, wherever you go, all the countries, with all that influence of Illuminati, will always feed you with false information. And it is not only up to the individual to know how to differentiate and to distinguish what is true or not, but also as a society to form a righteous and benevolent consensus for us to seek a better future for everyone. Because the turmoils that we go through of this age is no longer a matter of a single pact, a single country, or a single identity. It is the matter of our future as a whole, as a generation, and a lot of the truths need to be addressed immediately. So I've been uploading some of the videos identifying some of the truths regarding the issue of AI technology and infiltration of the brain and the privacy of the normal lives. And it all happens in a hierarchical system. The technocrats, the few in the power, would have access to these technology and information for them to rule and to manipulate the 99% of people who are clueless of what Samsung perpetrates, of what the conglomerates of technology gives out in a form of service, convenience, and culture. These AI technologies, Metaverse system technologies, are not for the humanity. It is not designed to elevate, to support the ascendance of humanity. In conclusion, the AI god as they serve, Samsung, CJ, Shinsegae, which translates as literally the New World Order, they do not serve the humanity's rights. They do not. So what we can do as a so they're controlling my words. So I'm still under influence of AI. I cannot speak for myself 100%, but I will do my best to give out the truth for the humanity to know worldwide and what is happening in this continent and the cultural realm of Asia. You have to have full control over yourself. You're not going to be under influence of AI technology, because it is all serving the Satanist and the manipulative, psychopathic needs and interests of the few. And those are the conglomerates in the name of Samsung, Shinsegae, Hyundai, SK, CJ, POSCO. All these Korean conglomerates are all hand in hand in relation with the Illuminati. They're funded by the Illuminati, Hanwha, and they're all hand in hand to mind control and to subdue the humanity into enslavement. And that's the ultimate goal for these menaces, for these traitors to sell their very own people to their own AI god and their alienated interests so that they could rule for centuries to come. Well, their plan is about to corrupt and have already corrupted. For the past decade or so, the QAnon movement centered in America, United States, have already, excuse my pronunciation, it's always under influence. So the QAnon movement that was centered, that was motivated in the States, USA, it's bringing more and more influence for truth seekers and civil activists to understand that there is a bigger picture than what is happening in their own country and their own understanding of their culture. There's more than what we can see, because there needs to be an absolute criteria, a source of information that allows us to bring truths together, to add up the puzzle pieces together, so that people working and engaging in different sectors of our society can come together as one civil movement to bring out the truth for the humanity to become one again. It is a process of integration to break the walls, to break out the differences, and to finally bring ourselves back to the initial understanding that humanity was only one, that humanity was nothing but one from the start. There is no reason for a small country like ours to be divided and to be mindless about the issues that affects us all together. There's no way that the God-given spirit of ours is going to overlook and to minimize the issues and the social matters that could possibly blind us and to slow us from the very core of what the truth might be. So, it's not a matter of countries anymore. It's not a matter of borders anymore. It's not about language barriers or differences of who has more money or not. It's about sharing the truth together and making this planet Earth a better place for everyone. Because hierarchical domination, justified in the name of system, religion, or politics, can no longer succeed our generations. So it is best in everyone's interest to have access to information from QAnon, QANON, and to research for their sake of life and others, and to defy against the mainstream news media that perpetrates nothing but falsehood and interests. There are so many channels here in South Korea, CJ, all these channels, TVN, MBN, we got MSNBC here, we got MTV here, SBS, KBS, NBC, EBS. None of these mainstream news media channels support the ultimate truth. They at many times serve interests, public, no, private interests. It is very necessary that a lot of English-speaking personnel here in South Korea and worldwide should come together and bring out a better basis of what a consensus, what a better consensus could be formed throughout the realm of Asia and even worldwide. It's about benefiting the humanity. It's about freeing ourselves from the financial burdens and the debts and the banking system and the false education system and the false expectations of our generations, locking up us into an imagery, a false imagery of what success might be. It's not having more money, it's not having more clothes, it's not having more of any of the materials. It's more about understanding and realizing for oneself that the inner peace, the inner conviction of what is right, the inner peace of knowing that we are here together as humanity is the most important thing. So it is best time for us to restore our ethics, to restore our belief that things will only get better, that we will start to believe in others and to respect others with goodness and Christian love. We also need to be aware of those who are abusing such social transactions that might overlook criminal conduct, such as what I'm going through as of now. So these things do happen because we do have AI technology happening everywhere. So especially South Korea is under a good influence of Samsung and other technological platforms that could bring us into an understanding that these technologies are actually the mainstream of whatever it is supposed to be. And it is wrong to accept these infiltrating AI technologies as the basis of what humanity and their social culture might be. It isn't, because it is abusive. The Metaverse AI technology is corely, it is fundamentally abusive because it is based on infiltrating private information and their rights and their free will. And it is to detect, to research and document and monitor people's free will and their choices so that they could expect a certain path of decision makings, and that accumulation of research itself becomes a key in dominating and controlling humankind. We need to find another path to bring ourselves together organically, not resorting to technologies as a means of communication, but to meet in person like we used to do in nature. It is best to forbid ourselves from these technologies that come in the name of convenience. So many apps, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. So many of these apps are infiltrating our privacies. And we don't even know how much of that consequence could bring so much of negativity to our lives. Because we're all wired into this AI technology. And these apps work hand in hand as a programming to control our brains, just like the cell phones. We ourselves, our organic body, can even work as a cell phone in itself. It is hard to imagine, but it's true. So it's beyond our understanding, beyond our common understanding of how much of these AI technologies and metaverse services can infiltrate and manipulate and basically sheeple us into a certain direction of human decision. And by all means, by all instinct, we all can understand that what we see around us is not normal at all. All of these people are all spending hours of time, their precious times of life, in using cell phones. Of course it's convenient. Of course there's a lot of things to look into. There's source of information, media, images, music, everything's in one cell phone. But you have to know all of these platforms that are bringing and providing these technologies and contents have wicked intents. They have intentions, that they have intent to fundamentally deprive and to demise the human soul of free will. They want those users to be solely enslaved to their technology and their system so that they are manipulated for their needs in the long term. So it is time that South Koreans and also Asians start having a better and a wider awareness of how these technologies can bring a very bitter time for the humanity, because it is only going to divide us. It is only going to perpetuate fake news, manipulative sources that could directly control the human free will. I'm a living evidence. I'm a living witness of this atrocity, where the K-pop singers that we know so well here in South Korea, under YG Entertainment, singers well known under YG Entertainment are all involved in this metaverse criminal conduct system. A well-known singer from China all of a sudden becomes a hit song they're infiltrating once again. I'm gonna say it again. There's a singer named Oh Hyuk, OHHYUK, a double citizen of China and South Korea. He is a leading criminal about to face he is about to be facing a very good amount of he's going to pay his sins in prison. So what I can say for sure is this individual named Oh Hyuk, he's from South Korea, but also educated back in China. He has two citizenships, and he's been committing crimes that can never be explained. It is only they're trying to stop me from talking. But he has committed sins of all kinds, including an attempted murder, to silence myself from exposing these truths to the public. He's been world touring most of the major cities worldwide. He doesn't earn money from that. He doesn't earn money from the so-called music career. I know the whole world, the Illuminati, is allowing him to be a leading singer. He's almost like a hero, because the media can control that in any ways. So he has this good reputation to the public. A lot of people think he's a good singer, he's a genius, he's got all these talents to tour worldwide, and there's enough demand for his music in his industry, which is absolutely false. This individual is an attempted murderer to silence a civil activists just like myself from exposing the truth of metaverse technology and the crimes that happen in infiltrating and subduing the consciousness of many people. And there are many perpetrated people here in the K-pop scene, and then also worldwide, because the few have the right to this technocrat technology, and that allows them to infiltrate and to computerize the private information attained from that infiltration, just like in the movie of Inception. And they follow these certain rituals. A kryptonited ritual to decode privacies and to control their free will, so that these people under surveillance and monitoring can always be enslaved and can always be controlled for their purposes and self-interest, which I shall not put in detail, as it is awfully, awfully inhumane. All I can say, it is happening in the name of human trafficking, underage assault, and that starts from infantile years to K-pop female singers and middle school age children. And how awful this might happen is beyond the imagination of everyone. And what we see here in South Korea is naiveness. Nobody has a clue about the severity of these crimes that's taking place in the subconsciousness, and it can torment and traumatize people for eternity. This does not stop even after death. What I can promise you is that they can AI you, your soul and your spirit, just like copying and pasting images and text from a computer. They can literally, by all means, they can make a whole new AI program out of a person's, an individual's character, their tendencies, and their free will, and they can reflect all of those information into a separate AI, and they can abuse and do whatever they can for all of their interests to use that AI and basically insist an ownership upon it. And in my case, in my early 20s, I used to work. I had a chance to work at Samsung Tech Win. It's a affiliated company from Samsung Electronics, and a chance to work there for only a few months. And that was more than 10 years ago. It was back in 2013. And what Samsung is claiming is that I myself still am under contract with Samsung, and that is the only reason why they have all the right to AI my soul and spirit and to abuse it and manipulate it for their own taste, so that a civil activist movement can never happen in real life. So I've been, for a very long time, ever since the year 2013, have been manipulated, assaulted, abused, silenced, tortured by the Samsung AI infiltration system. They are an attempted murderer themselves because they can control the physical body and the movements and the decisions I make by free will. And they have attempted murder to get rid of me by choking my cords and stop me from breathing. And that is an evidence that the third party and the intelligence can identify as evidence for an upcoming trial of this century, for the public and the humanity to open their eyes to the truth of their socially engineered environment, and how much of these suicided people had to be suicided. Now we're going to come to an understanding that nothing happens without a reason. And this individual, OHHYUK, is a traitor funded by the CCP and the Japs capital to dumb down and to demise the culture and the spirit of South Korea. Now, Japanese colonization have happened many times over our history. The war never ends. In these times of spiritual war, the AI technology infiltration and torture is the new way, is this generation's way to torment and to demise the souls of a nation. And I myself, as a civil activist, is a living witness to bring out the truth for the public to know, and that there is not a reason for our generation and future to support the development of AI technology, to land, and to identify these Samsung technology and capital to identify themselves as South Korean corporation. They have all the freedom to relocate outside of this country and do whatever criminal conduct that might be. There is no way that a nation's future can be compromised by these private companies that insist that they have ownership against. No, they have ownership for the individuals and citizens of this country. By all law, the legal system must support these civilians that are subjected to these technocrat oppression. And the mainstream news media that is hindering and obstructing these truths to have access, to gain access to the public. These traitorships must end immediately. Bill Gates Foundation knows this. Clinton and the Bill Gates and everyone in the American traders know very well about this, and they will have a chance to publicize this, I'm sure. So they are infiltrating at this very moment. All I want, I am no in any relation with any interest groups whatsoever. I am a single, independent, civil activist, here to only give out the truth for the public to open their eyes to the demising environment they might be living in. And I just want people to have a better awareness of how hazardous these conveniently serving technologies can be for anyone. We are no longer a herd. We have to wake up, we have to see the truth, and we have to regain a humane consciousness of what is to be one as a society. It is to share truth and to pray for a better future and to firmly believe that as a society that we can go to the right path, that we can lead more people to the righteous path. And that is to fight against and to defy the conglomerate violence that comes in the name of convenience and culture. It all comes in deceit. It's wolves wearing sheeps. It's always been like that. They will never confront you with bull's eyes or devil horns. They will always come in the name of angelic deeds and concerns. That is why the generation is so lost. Therefore, we always need a right source of information from the QAnon movement. And here in South Korea, we can have access to all of that good information through a cafe in a portal site named daum.net/Trump and the Night. 트럼프왕과 기사 이야기. Trump and the Night. cafe.daum.net/Trump and the Night. That is the world's leading source of the QAnon Christian civil rights activist movement. And all of the information uploaded by the owner is truth. And by experience, I know that. Thank you for listening. I hope whatever I just mentioned can help people have a better understanding of our lives these days, and that traditional forms should be restored. The Wi-Fis must be removed. The KT is a well-known trader company that's abusing the technologies to worsen our social environment. We have to defy against these conglomerates, interest groups, and traderships. Thank you for listening. I'll come back with more videos, more real information that could inform and bring us together as society. Thank you.